All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, so here we are. We're gonna go do this is about a 25-yard pitch shot. A lot of people think, or a lot of people say that this is actually one of the hardest shots in golf. You know, the pitch shot anywhere from about 20 to 60 yards. It requires a lot of feel, a lot of touch, and a lot of actually practice to get that feel. So the only difference is with the chip shot and this is the hinging of the wrist. So we're setting up almost exactly the same as we were in the chip. We're gonna have our club face open to the target and our feet open in relation to the target. The only difference is now is we're gonna take the club back, and once we get to about parallel to the ground, we're actually gonna hinge our wrist up. And then we're gonna follow through and finish like this. We're actually gonna use our wrist on this shot. It's more of a risky shot. So one drill that I really like to tell my students is the L to L drill. So what I want you to do a few times before each one of you guys hit your shot is get in your setup, make sure all your checks are good, and then set up, take the club back to the L, see how that creates an L, and then I want you to turn, follow through, and create another L on your finish. So do that a few times before you hit each shot, L to L, and once you get a good contact on the ground 3 times in a row, in the same consistent spot, then go ahead and try to hit your shot. So go ahead and practice that a few times. Good. Okay, once you guys get the feeling down and you feel confident about it, go ahead and try to take the shot that you're trying to hit. Okay, so one thing I'm going to show you, Miranda, so looking at this rough, it's obviously very thick, very deep, so it's very important to try to get contact with the ball first before hitting any of the blades of grass behind it. So what we're going to do to try to help promote that is we're actually going to move the ball from the center, we're actually going to move it further back in our stance. And what that's going to do, it's going to have our club bottom out more on top of the ball versus, you know, given the opportunity to hit behind the ball and actually chunk it or not hit it as the way we want. So what I want you to do on this next shot is actually set up like you were before, but move it a little further back in your stance just off the inside of your right foot, and see how that changes the shot for you. Good. Much better contact. The ball flight came out pretty good. So let's try that again. So it's good. I want you to challenge yourself on these different shots. When you're on the practice area, go ahead, bury the ball. See what you have to do. See what you have to manipulate in your setup to get a good shot. Good. Good. Okay. Okay. So I like how it's finished. I like how the ball's coming out. But one thing that's kind of creating that lower trajectory versus the higher trajectory that we're trying to get is actually that you're finishing and you're holding it off like you were a chip. So what I want you to try to do on this next one is take it up high and then follow through and get your hands up here. It's going to get that ball to pop up a little higher and get a little more spin and not release as much. Okay? There you go. Much better. See how much higher and less rollout that had on that? So really just focus on getting that finish to the top. Great. Looks much better. Good. Okay, let's see one more. Good. So let's try doing a little lower trajectory shot here, Johnny.
Okay.
So what do you think would help manipulate and get the ball a little bit lower?
Maybe if I move back in my stance a little bit.
Good. So let's go ahead and try moving it back off the inside of your stance. And also what I want you to try to do, instead of really getting it high up in the air like this, I want you to try to abbreviate the follow through, and that's going to get that lower shot, lower pitch shot. Good. So that was a lower trajectory and it actually rolled out a little bit more, which is good. It's kind of what we're looking for.
Good.
Good. Just so focus on manipulating what shot you're trying to do, how much rollout you're trying to determine, and then you'll know where in your stance to finish, and also how you're going to finish the shot.
Perfect.
Okay. Try again. Good. Much better. Oh, go in. Nice shot. So, the one thing that I see most with you is actually the follow through. Really taking a big follow through, like you almost took a full swing. So what I want you to try to do on this one, before you hit your next shot, do that L to L drill, and really focusing on abbreviating and stopping that follow. Okay? So let's come over here and we'll do a couple of those. Let's try it right here. So I want you to take it back to where you'd set, and then follow through and stop to here. Okay? Good. Good. Much better. All right, let's try one more. All right. Just take some consistency and some practice with that. All right, guys. So that'll do it.